Can you get me? Oh, yay. Okay. Well, I have no answer. Oh, nope. Wait. Yes, I hope. Oh, no. Try refreshing Peep to Pointo. Um, I have no clue what's going on here. There we go. Yay. Okay. Meatball all time in about 2.5 hours. So, okay, we'll see how this goes. Thank you guys so much for putting up with technical issues, and we'll see. I'm just gonna keep on cooking. Anyway, so I compile a bunch of recipes just to see how things need to be done. I am not going to switch between cameras this time, just because I'm a little afraid that might be the reason why everything freaked out. But I'm cutting some onions right now, and we will work on this and make it bigger and better for the next time I stream. But yeah, so I do some research. I look at what basic things are done. For this recipe, I specifically wanted those like grandma's style meatballs. I wanted the meatballs that are simmering and and the recipe's been passed down, and it involves things like a smidge of this and a dash of this. But obviously I'll end up putting actual ingredients and measurements. So right now I am mincing up a bunch of onions. 11:35. So I am on the Pacific time zone, so it's 8:35. I had intended to start cooking at 6, but this is a new computer that we've been resetting up to do streaming, and it has taken a very long time, and it's still not perfect. And so ultimately, I was trying to use Streamlabs OBS, was running into the same error. Woo! Those onion tears over and over again. So in a last-ditch effort, I decided to just go straight off of Restream and use their camera, which is why I don't have any fancy anything. I normally have, screens and frames and all that fun stuff, which will all come in due time. And now this is Tara tries not to cry on her. So I am currently chopping up an extremely large onion. This recipe is for 2 medium-sized onions, one for the sauce and one for the meatballs. And I thought I would just kind of a little bit of that work out of there and chop 1 onion once, but that means I'm gonna get tears. But we want this to be nice and oniony and garlicky, tons of flavor in that sauce and those meatballs. So I'm just gonna mince this forever. So meatballs is something that I absolutely love, Italian food, but I often am pretty lazy with my meatball consumption, and I just get those like frozen meatballs. And I've been wanting for a while to find just an amazing meatball recipe and really make it my own. So, I'm gonna go rinse my hands, see if that helps my eyes. I found that whenever I get really teary-eyed with onions, if I just put my hands under some cold water and wash them and kind of bring some cold water up near my face, it kind of helps a little. I don't know if there's science behind that, but it's what works for me. Yeah, I'm hungry as well. I was really excited to have these meatballs for dinner, and I'm going to have a nice little midnight meatball snack. It's going to be great. So the meatballs themselves are for one recipe that I am for a cookbook pitch I have, so I can't talk too much about the fandom behind it. But after the meatballs are created, I'm going to turn meatball subs, specifically Charles Boyle's perfect meatball sub from his food truck ventures. If anyone out there watches Brooklyn Nine-Nine, that's what that's from. I've been wanting to do something from Brooklyn Nine-Nine for a while, but Charles likes to get really creative with his food. Going for a fairly simple food truck meatball sub seems like a way to start, but I'm going to fancy it up a little bit, add some fennel to it, make the cheese, instead of using like a provolone or a shredded mozzarella, we're going to use some fresh mozzarella, and we might play a little bit with the bun as well. Gas from the onions make you cry. Yes. I'm getting real teary-eyed here. Woo! So I've got this gorgeous Le Creuset Dutch oven. I love the oval shape that when I cook roast lamb, which I'll be doing next weekend for Greek Easter. It just accommodated a little bit more than a circle. So can I send you some? Dude, there are not going to be any meatballs left at the end of this. I'm going to eat them all. Thank you. I think it's a pretty nice pot. I got it in a Kalamata olive purple because I know a lot of Greek food in it. Woo! Onions. So we've got some oil simmering in there right now. We're getting that nice and hot. Then we're going to be sauteing some onions. And while those start to saute, we'll cook up some or chop up some garlic. I'm going to blow my nose right here because of those onions. And wash my hands, of course. Nice pot or pan. Yeah, I would say the Dutch oven is pot. When I think of pots as, the deeper dishes, you can do a soup or a stew. You can get a stew going. Where pans, I think, either, something more like this, which we'll be using later. Because I am trying out this meatball recipe. I'm trying it a few different ways. So I can fry some of them, and I'm going to bake some of them. On that note, we should preheat the oven to 350 degrees. That's what we'll be cooking the meatballs with. And let's get half of these going. So right now, this is for the sauce. Yeah, nice oniony sauce. Give some of the bigger pieces, let those simmer. Let's get a big wooden spoon. I feel like Grandma's Sunday tomato sauce and meatballs, you make a giant, hearty wooden spoon for it. It's how an Italian grandmother would prefer. Oh my gosh, I don't know if you guys can hear that sizzling, but it is amazing. Easter sweet cakes. Yes. So, I don't know, I guess traditional Easter, I probably back in the day would have called it normal Easter, was Christian Easter, I guess, was 2 days ago. However, the Greek Orthodox Church has a calendar. And so their Easter is next weekend. And I married into a Greek family. It is the most delicious thing I've ever done. Soaked in flavors from the remnants in the spoon's wood. Yeah. That way I just always have a nice tomatoey spoon. So I married into a Greek family, and Greek Easter has become my favorite holiday because you just get to eat tons of delicious food. And I've started actually cooking for our non-Greek friends and introducing them to all of the traditional Greek Easter, which involves roast lamb. The first time I tried it was lamb on a spit, which was amazing. We make moussaka. We make a lot of Greek salad. I'll probably make some fresh baked bread with Villager's bread recipe from the Minecrafters cookbook. We always make hard-boiled eggs. We dye them red, and you fight each other with them. You hit each other's eggs. It's this game that our friends love. You like fried rice? Fried rice is delicious. I love fried rice as well. I have a friend who made us breakfast fried rice once. It was so incredible. It uses like bacon. You still have the scrambled egg normally put in it. What else was in it? A lot of it. So I'm going to use, that was an old garlic. I was trying to see if I could save, but I could not. So normally when it comes to garlic, I usually cheat a little bit. I'll show you what it is. This beauty. It is a giant garlic from Costco. We usually fully go through it before it expires because I love a lot of garlic. However, since I am recipes and I'm wanting like a good authentic sauce and meatball, I feel like we should mince our own garlic, even though it is a pain. is the only thing you can cook. That's a decent thing to cook because fried is that perfect thing where you can literally take any like meat or veggies you have in your fridge and just put it together and it's going to turn out amazing. Oh, thank you. Follow. Oh, thank you guys all for the follow. So for those who are in, my name is Tara. I am a geeky author. I wrote the Minecrafters cookbook. I also am the creator of the Geeky Hostess. So I do a fandom-inspired recipes. And I'm working on a couple things right now. I'm working on different upcoming Geeky Hostess posts. I'm working on a couple for new cookbooks. And then there's another cookbook I have. The contract is being negotiated right now, so I've already kind of started this. Like, I have the table of contents. So I'll probably start making recipes pretty soon on stream. But today I'm working on 3 for an upcoming pitch. And then I think, yeah, since we're getting a later start, probably just 1 for Geeky. So the first thing we're doing is making some meatballs and tomato sauce for a meat I'm working on, as well as a meatball sub recipe based off of Boyle's food truck meatball subs for 9. But I'd be as mean as he is. Do we have any Brooklyn Nine-Nine fans watching? Anyone else that's like me? Okay, garlic makes you live forever. Then I will seriously live forever. Ooh, these onions are a little crispy. I'm going to lower had them up a little too high. But I'm okay with that. We don't have to tell anyone. Do go legal satire. He is my husband, and he's been running around, I think, trying to make sure everything works. So he's somewhere. Oh, he's here. Excellent. Gotta have a real talk about garlic. How do you guys feel about garlic? Are you like me and says you need 1 clove, you end up putting in like 5? Or do you put in like 1? Because right now the sauce, the average ones I was online, the average recipe said 3 garlic cloves, and these are pretty garlic cloves. How can I? There you go. Like these are pretty large, but like maybe I'll try 4. And we'll just see what happens with that. We're also going to need to mince 1 for the meats. I kind of want to put in more than 1, but I also don't want to take away too much of the flavor of the meat. Because not everyone loves garlic as much as I do, as hard as that is to believe. Hello, how's it going? I'm trying to help him seriously tell by the glitching that I did a bad. Glitching? I haven't noticed any glitches on my side down here. Speaking of the glitching, for those who are a little bit newer in or haven't seen me before, I've done a couple cooking streams on Mixer in the past. I often have a couple different, including a top-down one. When I tried switching to the top-down earlier, it broke. It was one of many things that broke a lot of things. So I'm just sticking with a really bare bones today, but come back. Check this out again. I will continue to expand upon this, all games and the fun celebrations when people join. I will, have the top-down camera. We will make this a party. But my hope is that while I continue to work on all of these for upcoming cookbooks and for pitches and for my blog posts, stream every 1 or 2 weeks, and from there, you all can, kind of be a part of the process. You're going to be like my friends in the kitchen hanging out while I cook. Talk through what I'm making. I'll ask you guys questions about what I'm making, what you prefer, and we'll kind of create these recipes together. By the time the book comes out, you'll get to see the finished product, and that'll be kind of exciting. Okay. Oh, Peep to point to what do you stream? Adding garlic. Oh my gosh. My nose is still ready from those onions. That onion was intense. Right now, I've got the onions and the garlic going in the Dutch oven for sauce. And I'm going to put in this giant 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. Ooh. Well as 6 ounces of tomato paste. I grabbed a 12-ounce thing just in case I wanted to do a double. Oh, how tall are you? I'm pretty tall. Oh, you stream games like Minecraft and Terraria? Oh, that's So I know Legal Satire is a huge Terraria fan, and I obviously am a Minecraft fan. I just wrote that Minecrafters cookbook. Okay, so tomato paste comes in smaller cans, little 6-ounce ones. But just in case I want to do a double batch, I got a bigger one, but I'm still only going to use half of it. So just that 6 ounces. And this paste is essentially just tomato concentrate. So I'm going to be adding 6 ounces of water to fill it out a little bit. And then we're going to get to the good liquids, the wine. So people have different opinions on if you should add wine to sauce or not. If they don't think you should, wrong. It's delicious. And there's that stupid quote that I very much, which is the like, I love to cook with wine. Sometimes I even put it in the food. I think we're going to do that today. So let me grab a little wine glass here. I used to have this amazing wine glass that my buddy Joe gave me. And the wine glass itself, so you could like measure it out to put in the food and then drink from it. But it broke. So I need to find a new one of those. I love your guys' conversation about each other's heights. Heights are great. I had a guy at work come up to me and just be like, has anyone ever told you that you're tall? And I was like, yeah, like a lot. And he seemed so surprised. And I'm like, but I mean, you asked me, so it can't be that much of a surprise. I was also wearing like heeled booties that day, so I was probably like 6'1". So yeah, pretty tall. Okay, mine for sauce, mine for meat. So I'm using a Cabernet Sauvignon sauce. I wanted to do a Chianti for the sauce because it's Italian. That seems right. But Chianti is a little bit drier. Sometimes I have a little bit more spice, where Cabernet is going to be a little bit more full and appropriate for the sauce. I did a little bit of reading up on pairings and red wine for sauces, and a lot of people recommended Cabernets. The one I'm using, you can see it's I think it's called Raymond Cabernet Sauvignon, but it specifically says it is the Street Journal. There you go. Wine Club. It's a special one for them. So there's this thing called WSJ Wine, Wall Street Journal Wine. You can look it up. I think you get like 14 bottles of wine for $90 or something. It ends up being $1 a bottle. Amazing, amazing deal. All of them delicious. Gonna go blow my nose from those onions again. Highly, highly recommend it. And all, kind of nicer bottles of wine and not things that you normally see in a grocery store. You can bring them over anytime you're going to a friend's house or like going to your parents' place or anything like that. You just want to bring a nice bottle of something over, and you'll know that you only paid $8 for it because they look really fancy. They taste really good. Okay. We are grooming. We've got tomato paste, water, crushed tomatoes. We've got wine. Ooh, time to add some grated Parmesan cheese. So right now we're just throwing everything in this pot and we're just going to let it simmer. And then we're going to make the meatballs, and then we'll let them finish in the sauce. So once the sauce is already simmered a little bit, then it's all the meat flavors and the juices. Guys, my mouth is watering. I'm so excited. Okay, we want 3/4 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. Are any of you guys cooks? Cook a lot at home? And if so, have you ever made meatballs and homemade sauce? No, because I'm going to need to get your opinion while I'm cooking. Allergy season, you live in the sticks, Tara. I'm chopping this giant onion. So let me show you. So this is an onion that I grabbed. Onions here are so big. And this one is smaller than the one that I chopped. So the one I chopped like this big. So yeah, that messed me up. I am fortunate where I don't have too many allergies right now, but spring starting, it's starting to get a little bit worse. I grew up with cats, and I'm pretty sure I was allergic to cats, so I had a lot of allergies then, but not so much now. Okay, we got the grated Parmesan cheese. We need to get some sugar. So you put a little bit of sugar in when you're making sauce because it cuts down the acidity from all the tomatoes. And it's just going to mellow everything out a little bit. So it sounds weird. I don't want a sweet sauce, but it's just something you kind of need. Fancy science things. So we're going to throw a tablespoon of sugar in there. Right, with all that grated Parmesan cheese, it's going to get all melty and just add this good flavor. So you want a teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of pepper. I'm just going to do this and this. Got these fancy, sorry if that killed the mic. We've got these fancy electronic salt and pepper shakers. Really great for cooking. Making it nice and one-handed there. Then we're adding a tablespoon of fresh basil, fresh and oregano. Okay, so let's start on oregano. Oh, I have oregano. No, I am out of oregano. So we're going to go straight with the parsley and the basil. Long hair cats. Yeah, I had 2 long hair cats. It was a delight because I love them and they're so sweet and cute. But yeah, I basically had like watery eyes for my entire life. So now we have no pets. And while it's sad, I'm literally able to easier. So, compromise. So right now I am just kind of going like this with a knife with parsley. I'm just cutting some of the leaves away from the stems. So I don't want too many stems in that sauce, but I am going to be mincing it pretty fine. So if a couple make, it's not going to be a big issue. And I probably cut way too much. We only need about a tablespoon of this. So fresh herbs, especially if you wait to chop them until right before they're in, it's going to add a lot more flavor than a dried herb. Gosh, and I can already smell this. It smells so good. Services need to find like a smell-o-vision situation so I can really show you guys what's going on here. Easy life. Yep. I'm living that sneezy life right now. Yeah, sure. I'm going to go a little over a tablespoon because I like to over-season a little bit. Not going to hurt anyone. We'll see how that goes. And then we've got some basil, some fresh basil here. We're going to throw a tablespoon of that in. And as I said before, basically right now I am just going through a quick version of a recipe that I put together by looking at different recipes and seeing what is in common with all of them. And then from there, kind of figuring out some preferences and tastes, like adding extra garlic, adding oregano, things like that. And I that. And then we're just going to try different versions. And whatever ends up working well, we'll written into the cookbook or for Geeky Hostess Post. And then for the cookbook, it'll end up in recipe testers. And they'll try the rest and they'll see if it's tastes about the same as mine, if it's easy to understand. And then from there, press. Okay. Got some basil. Right about that. That's going to taste so good in that sauce. Just going to mix it all together here. Let me actually pull this over. This should be fine on the wood for a second. Oh no, I don't have the overhead, but you can see it right here. Here we go. We got tomatoes, wine, cheese, basil, parsley, garlic, onions. Literally important food group. Oh, that looks so good. Let's do a little taste here. That's tasty. Don't know if it's enough garlic for me, but you know, it is what it is. We'll try it. I can always add more garlic later. So we're going to let that do its thing. Simmer for a little bit. Then we're going to get started on some meats, which is quite exciting. Okay. Cheers. You're watching on YouTube and Mixer. That's crazy. So yeah, so this is my time streaming live on YouTube. So let me know what that seems like. And then Twitch, probably on a long time ago. Mixer I did more recently. But again, I am I am Peep 2.0. Nice. But yeah, so I found this cool thing, Restream, trying it out. It lets you stream to everything all at the same time. So far, so good. Like it's working. It also let me tweet out to everywhere at the same time, which is pretty cool. So for the meatballs, I am using a pound of beef, an 85%, 15% mix, and a pound pork. Because I want a little bit of flavor, some different meats going on in there. Let's see, that should be fine. Oh my gosh. Pro tip, never ever cut an entire on stream. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. Mazel. That was just the styrofoam packaging from the pork. This pork is a sticky bugger. Okay. Not a geek at all, just really nice, wholesome, down-to-earth person. Have a wonderful night cooking and eating. Good night, my friend. So, I am sorry that you're so mistaken on the geek thing and that you don't think someone can be wholesome, down-to-earth, and geeky all at the same time. Because welcome to my life. So, what am I cooking? Yeah, so I'm working on some like grandma's Sunday meatballs and tomato sauce. The meatballs are going to be for a cookbook pitch that has a specific fandom theme that I'm not allowed to become something official. But I'm also working on meatball recipe to make some meatball subs inspired by Boyle, Brooklyn Nine-Nine food truck perfect ball sub. So I'm going to be working on that. And then I have a few other recipes that I'm going to after the meatballs are in the oven. One is strawberry daiquiri and one is cookies. So it is like the weirdest combo, but both of those are also for the same cookbook pitch. I won't be able to tell you what exactly the fandom is that I'm working with, but you can start trying to think through some of the stuff. I might give some clues throughout, and you can let me know what you think the fandom could incorporate. Meatballs, strawberry daiquiri, and some brown M&M cookies. I don't think I would be able to guess it. It's a weird mix. I should mail you some meatballs. They make it a little soggy. Okay, so we've got the 1 pound beef and pork. We're going to add in that onion. We're going to add in a minced garlic clove. Basically right now we're just putting everything, all these ingredients into I'll show you guys the bowl in a second. And then from there, we're going to mix it all together. And I'm going to use my hands because it's fun that way. And it feels more authentic. Okay. Let's chop up this garlic clove. I'm really showing restraint by only using 1 garlic clove just because I am testing this recipe. It's very easy for me then to fix it later and say, no, let's add a couple more. But we'll see. We'll see how the garlic light people live. Seems miserable. Just mentioned some garlic. How was all of your days? Does that make sense? I hope you all had good days. Let me know if you did anything exciting. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to go again. Cursed by the onions forever. Forever. Okay, and there are so many people that want me to send them meatballs. There won't be enough for me to eat, and I'm going to need to eat like 20. I've decided. Okay. Whew. This baby's doing looks amazing. You did something at church. That's awesome. You bought a hard drive. Awesome. How big was a hard drive? And peep to point oh, what did you do at church with your friends? So we got, oh, we need 2 eggs and some milk. So here's a fun fact area. She's lactose intolerant. 4 terabyte. Holy cow. Keeps blowing my mind how big hard drives can get these days. That sounds more suggestive than it is. But you know what I mean. Got some eggies here. So, first time making like full-on meatballs from scratch. So, ooh, no. So, I got it. Did I get it? And I was really surprised looking at, a lot of basic recipes for meatballs. They involve things like milk. I wasn't expecting that. I'm assuming the milk adds, which is probably necessary since everything else is going to be pulling it from them and drying them out. It's made out of paper. It was weird. I was the model. Tony, no worries. Enjoy work. I love lurkers. I've lurked many a times myself for other people's streams, not my own. That's weird. So what kind of dresses were you making out of? That sounds awesome. Okay, so 3/4 cup breadcrumbs and a 1/2 cup. Let's see what happens here. So I originally picked the bowl I'm putting right now because I wanted to, you don't know, I wanted to be able to show it off on the overhead cam. I guess I could here. Yeah, I can stick it on the cutting board, as you can see. So I picked a clear bowl, but it's my smaller ones, and you can see I'm already getting to near the top. This is going to be an adventure. See, we want a 1/3 cup grated Parmesan cheese. Excellent. So for a really long time, I assumed if you think grated Parmesan cheese, you weren't as cool. You were getting the shelf-stable Kraft grated Parmesan cheese just to put on pizzas, stuff like that. But then I made the Cacio Pepe from the Cravings cookbook. I'm a big fan of her work, her cookbooks. And I found out that it is and makes things wonderful in every way. Oh, baby, to point out, you didn't even see photos? You couldn't even see what you look like in a paper dress? It sounds amazing. Anyway, grated Parmesan is now one of my new favorite things. It adds so much flavor. Oh, my head's cut off now? What are we doing here? Excellent. Legal satire, everyone. My doting husband making everything happen. Playing around with all kinds of things. Cutting my heads off so many ways. Beautiful. What's happening? So legal satire, who's in the chat, is the thing is moving. Yeah, he was moving we have a tripod situation set up back there, and I can't show it. The camera's on the tripod, Anyway, I think he was just trying to show a little bit more space. So to show you guys what I was working with here. Let's see, it looks like we're adding some more fresh basil and parsley. Looks like we've already got that parsley here. Add some more basil. So, because some of these meatballs are going to be for a recipe I'm making for Charles Boyle, Brooklyn Nine-Nine food truck, meatball subs, I wanted to add something a little more fun. He's a fun and fancy guy, and he knows his food stuff. So, for half of this, I'm going to add some fennel, which smells kind of like anise. It has that black licorice smell to it, but it's supposed to really just enhance flavors of meat. And I think it'll be pretty good for meatballs. So we'll see. But it's not something super traditional for, grandma meatballs. So for those ones, I'm going to keep it out. Okay. So I'm going to put my hair up real quick here while I get this going. Subscribe to you on my YouTube. Thank you for subscribing. Do you know how long I've wanted a cooking channel and mixer? The prayers have been received. There are actually quite a few folks that do cool stuff. One of his name, is it Chef Roblake? Is that it? No, it's Chefs. I don't know. There are a few. I don't know when they stream, but it's amazing. You should definitely check them out. Or make your own. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to town here, but the milk is making it real weird. I don't like it. But it's going to end up being delicious. I know it. So again, this has a pound of pork, has a pound of beef. I did an 85% mix, so it has a little more fat in it, which I think will help make it nice and juicy. It's got some eggs. It's got some milk, tons of onions, not enough garlic. We're trying it anyway. So parsley, salt, pepper. Oh my gosh. Like, what is the opposite of ASMR? Nice, squishy. Here, I'll get the microphone. You guys hear that? That's so gross. So gross. But some people might be into it. Do you guys like ASMR? Do you all like that? I'm one of those people that I can't stand hearing people chew or anything like that, so I'm terrified to even because I'm afraid I'll just get really annoyed and bothered by ASMR. But I can understand there being some good stuff out there. Also, hello to you and your cameraman. Legal Satire. Out Mike 3 says hello to you. Everyone thank my producer and full support, Legal Satire. He is a champ. Okay. This looks pretty good and mixed here. By good, I mean it's something. So we are going to do two different things here. We are going to bake some of them. I did a bad job today. We'll do better in the future. Great job. There are some weird technical issues going on, but we're going to get them figured out, and the stream is going to get better and better every other week, every week, whenever it is I'm doing it. Still trying to figure out time and day. Let me know that if you would prefer Mondays or Tuesdays, kind of the best options. And if you'd prefer an earlier start time, or if this is a good start time for you, we could probably do we're in Pacific time zone, so we could do a 6 to 8 or 7 to 9, or I guess this is going to be an 8:30 till. Okay, I'm going to wash my hands real quick so I can prep the bake. Get all that raw pork and beef on here. It's a really glamorous life I lead. So I'm going to stick some parchment paper on the baking because I don't want it to look like meatballs forever. That was probably loud. Put this there so it stays. Beautiful. Okay. So I'm going to half of this because we're going to bake half of it and we're going to pan fry half of it. And I want like a good palm-sized meatball. That's what I'm trying for here. I want something, you know, and here's a clue. Here's our first clue for what the fandom might be, or the source material for this meatball recipe is. I want one like this. I want you to be able to hold them in your hands like this, all saucy. I'm homeschooled, so I wake up at around 12:30 p.m. and I don't know what time zone I'm in. So I think you mentioned some of the food isn't shot in my stomach except the current. Good. I think you mentioned earlier that you were like 2 hours ahead of us. So you might be in Central Time Zone? I don't know. Anyway, we're going to keep making those palm-sized meatballs. Those nice big balls. Thank you so much for the follow, Cohammer. Is that 117? 117. We're going to get a really awesome monitor set up where I can read the chat and the notices a little bit better, bigger font, which will make things easier for future streams. Out my three, thank you so much for the follow. Oh my gosh, you guys, these are huge meatballs. I'm so excited. So excited. But I need more room on my pan for all this meaty goodness. 12:15 a.m. right now. Okay, so you're 3 hours ahead. So you're probably Eastern Standard Time. Okay. Cannot wait to show you guys the meatballs. Look at these beauties. So these are going to go in the oven for 15 minutes. We're going to check on them at that point. And in the meantime, we're going to fry up the rest of the meatballs to get them really brown and crispy. And again, I'm only doing, half baked, half fried because I'm just testing out this recipe. I'm testing what seems best. So normally you would just pick one way and do it. We're trying some stuff today. So I got a nice pan here. It's the closest you'll ever see me playing PUBG. Not because I have anything against it. It seems awesome. I just am terrified of those, online multiplayer shooter games because I know I get killed instantly. So this one we want quite a bit of oil in the pan because we're going to be essentially frying the meatballs, browning all the different sides of the meatballs. Thank you for the meaty meatballs. Yeah, I'm showing those balls. Tons of love. Oh, I know. I don't know why you came here and thought I'd be playing PUBG. You are sorely missed. Okay, so now I've got this fennel pollen. Keep forgetting where it's in a fancy tin. I don't know if it always comes in a fancy tin. But we're going to throw a little bit of the rest to try adding that to this recipe. If I can open it. No, I had it open. I don't know why I would have closed it again. Oh no. Come on, we're getting there. Oh, so close. My hands are wet too, so that's not helping. Welcome to watching a woman try to open a jar. The stream. Thank you so much for the follow, Alma. I hope it was entirely because of me watching me open this jar. Oh, legal satire is coming to the rescue. I think you're the one who closed it anyway. It's all fun. Oh, he did it. That was such a beautiful, beautiful opening. Thank you. So fennel, I don't think you need a ton of it. Oh, I just touched the mic there. Sorry about that. Let's grab a teaspoon. I'll just add a teaspoon in. That should be quite a bit. It smells really potent. That's what it looks like on the inside. So I'm just sprinkling that right on the top there. And then I'm going to mix it in. And then take the balls and pop them right in this nice hot pan. We're going to brown all the sides of it, but it won't fully cook it because then we're going to take the brown meat, stick them straight into the sauce, and then it's going to continue to cook while it simmers in it. So it's going to get nice and juicy, absorbing the tomato juices, and then it's going to absorb the meat juices. And it's just a nice, happy friendship. You only play Fortnite if your friends are playing it. That's the idea. He did make that look easy. Witchcraft. I don't appreciate it. So yeah, this one's olive oil and pan, browning all sides, put in sauce and simmer for 2+ hours. Not thrilled about that. Let's see how the sauce is doing. Oh, it's getting a little bubbly. It's looking good. It smells real good. It's super cheesy and basil-y. Basil-y is a word. You don't know. Judge me. Okay. Gonna mix this fennel up with all these ground meats. These animals. Your pleasure. Ooh, I'm hearing some sizzling. Okay, so these meatballs I'm going to make a little bit smaller because they're ultimately going to be turned into a meatball. So these ones, well, I guess it's not that much smaller. Just a little bit. Yeah. So, now that's good ASMR. You hear that? Yeah, that's the good stuff. Okay, and again, I've never cooked fully from scratch meatballs before, so we're all going on a journey. I think these are good. The recipe sounds great. I'm just a little concerned on it. I will be making these meatballs tight enough. Is that a thing? Like, so they don't fall apart? Hello. Hello, everybody. Okay. So when I put it in the pan, I do want to make sure that I give them a little bit of room so they can kind of cook along this well. Eventually, we're going to run out of space. I'll finish those and then put the rest in. Yeah, I don't even want to say this because you guys take a bit of it, but I don't think I have a whole lot of mod settings set up yet because of a different situation at the moment. So my mod settings are not have not taken over. But again, the stream will just get fancier. So I will get everything set up for the next time. That's a meatball. I actually don't have any spice in these ones. Steak. But that does remind me, I wanted to add some red pepper flakes to the sauce, and I did not do that earlier. So thank you so much for the spicy meatball reminder. Got some crushed red pepper flakes. Just a little sprinkle in. Mix that on in. Yeah. That's the good stuff. And let's see. We'll use this to turn these little guys. You know, browning them. Ooh! I'm getting splashed from... It's dangerous work, everyone. Stand back. Oh yeah, these are getting brown and crispy. I'm going to turn down the heat a little bit. So tell me, do you prefer like a nice kind of softer baked meatball, like what we've got going on in the oven? Or are you someone who wants like really crispy browned edges going on here? These are browning up so nicely. Yeah, no, you don't want to cook bacon with no shirt. For sure, that is very dangerous. tongs. So I do high random game time. Meatballs. Yes, those are great. So I do have tongs. These are my go-to kitchen item for literally everything. Mostly whenever I'm making like a salad or like a kale Caesar salad, I'll just up with that. They are great for this. I was a little concerned while they're still pretty raw that if I put too much pressure on the tongs, they would just fall apart. But they're actually starting to get pretty good. So I switch over to the tongs at this point. So who had said that? Oh, it's past now, I see. But thank you so much for that. And now you just want it to be brown on all the different sides. So it's like one thing is, I don't know if it was how I formed them or if it's from sauteing them, super round, where I suspect the oven ones will be a little more rounded. Those ones have another half minutes before we'll get to them. And again, these meatballs in the pan aren't going to be fully cooked through when I'm done. So even though I want to badly, I won't be able to take a nice bite out of them. They will be going into the sauce to finish up. Bring the sauce down to a low simmer. It's been bubbling a little bit, starting to get a little crispy on. Those are good. Just gonna give them another minute or so, and then we'll do the meatballs here. Oh my gosh. Someone got oil in their eye that is now in fear and nightmare of mine. So thank you so much. Really to always be afraid of getting oil in my eye now. You guys able to see this at all? You can see the pan, but not the good. I'll try to bring it over in a second here. These are so brown and crispy and sizzling. Oh my gosh. Take a look at that. Look at those. Yum. I'm going to let them do their thing for a little bit longer. Start tidying up some of this. What's up with the blackout shades? So that way is our front entrance. And we don't want everyone being able to look in at any time. So that's why we have those. But they're a light color, so they actually it's nice and light in here. It doesn't feel like they're blackout shades. It's like, oh, compost. It's nice and dark outside right now. So that actually makes it feel brighter in here. That kitchen window. Oh yeah. It's a pretty great kitchen window. So I'm in Seattle. We compost everything because it's Seattle. She reminds me we have to take our compost out today. I need to make sure to do that after the stream. Okay. We are going to put these beautiful little crispies right into the sauce. Let them do their thing. Simmer on nice here. So it says 2+ hours. We'll see if I can last that long, because that is a long time. In the meantime, we've got more meatballs to cook. Then from there, we will switch gears, make a few other fun things. Okay, covered those up. I'll put this back on while we're waiting on balls. Does your kitchen stink with it? So the compost container that we have, it has this charcoal filter. It really doesn't smell at all. We also, it's pretty small on purpose. So really after you're going to be taking it out. putting all of the stuff, actual compost. The actual compost is a bit smelly. And that's just like a bin. It goes out at the same time as our recycling and our trash. Oh, I turned, here, I'll turn the heat back on. Forgot that I turned that off. Okay. Hands clean. Meatballs are cooking. This is just, do you have a garden? I unfortunately don't have a garden. Right now we're just renting. It doesn't have a backyard or anything. But we did do a little bit of an herb garden last summer. Okay, how about now? Can you guys hear me? Studios, thank you so much for the follow. Sub Hype, thank you so much. I don't think I'm able to see the now because I am in this bare bones restream format. But I really appreciate, thank all of you for sticking around and watching and subbing. It's 9:30. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm literally going to be done with these at like 11:30. And like, I'm going to have to eat them, right? I'm going to have to pull a sub. Literally like a midnight meatball sub because fresh meatballs. Can't not. Okay, so I larger meatballs into bake for 15 minutes. Let's check on them, see how they're doing. Okay. So you can see here they're round. They're getting there. They're definitely not as amazing crispy brown looking as the other ones would prefer. Ooh, these are a lot more tender though. Random game time. I mean, if you want to come over for midnight snack, I will have plenty of meatballs. You know, I'm not sure how brown these are supposed to look, but I feel like they should be a little bit more brown. So maybe like 3. Let's give that a try. In fact, actually, I'm going to flip them over if I can. Woo! Hot meat. These look almost more like little mini meatloafs. I think meatballs, these nice crispy brown ones that are going on the stove. But we will see. This might be what I need for the recipe. Okay. Got those going for another 3 minutes. Again, these ones on the stove. We're just making sure they're crisp around on all the edges. We're getting some pink edges here, so I'm just moving around. This is almost like making little hamburger balls. And those are more like little meatloaf balls. How are you guys doing? What are you saying? Ooh, doggo, a cat. Guys, talk about your pets. I unfortunately don't have any. I just have a couple cats that I go visit. Their names are Frickin' Beans. Beans used to be called Sophie. That's her actual name. But my mom spilled coffee beans on her once and then just started calling her Beans. Then when they got the new cat, they named him Frank. So they could be Frank and Beans together. It's adorable. Oh yeah. These nice crispy babies. Mm-mm-mm. Oh my gosh, you guys, good. So good. Okay. We're gonna add these crispy babies in with the other crispy babies. Let them simmer in their little tomato hot tub. Turn off this heat. This little steam heat. Were any of you into music or were in musicals when you were in school, if you're no longer in school? It was from a Pajama Game. That was one of those musicals I was in that's like super old and no one will ever do except for but they've got that awesome Fosse style dance called Steam Heat. It's the only number, one of two numbers I remember from that, and the only good one. Okay, so now let me pull out and show you what we got going on in here. How is this? Okay. So we got saucepan has now doubled in the amount of sauce because of all the meat. The meatballs in there. And let them simmer. We'll be doing the same thing, the baked ones. Which makes me think maybe my sauce and my meatball recipes are a little uneven, and I probably want to double this recipe because I don't know if there will be enough sauce for all the meatballs. You got any cooking awards? Ooh, I don't know if I've done any cooking awards. So I'm a home cook. I would say self-taught, but I mean taught by parents and friends and all those types of folks. Oh yeah, these are looking a little more brown. Just kind of look like meh compared to the crispy babies. Let's see if I can fit all of them in here. Let's move all of the pan-fried ones to one side. We'll see. That'll be the tough thing, is trying to figure out at the end which ones are which. I have a feeling I might be able to tell. But yeah, if anyone in the chat are big chefs or have cooking awards or have taken cool cooking classes, let me know. I like to do a lot of the fun little cooking classes. Here in Seattle, Tom Douglas, who's one of the folks around here, put together a set of cooking classes called, it's like Iron Stove, I think, Hot Stove Society. Those ones are really good. Okay, you guys, the meatballs will just have to simmer. Gotta simmer down. Any of you watched Nickelodeon back in, I don't even want to say what year it was, but the year that I was in school, and Stickly would do summertime programming. Please tell me someone else here remembers Stickly. Whenever I hear simmer, I think simmer down because that was his catchphrase. But not a lot of people remember Stick. He was literally a popsicle stick with eyes because it's Nickelodeon. Okay, I'm gonna move this pan to the sink here. I'm a little nervous about it because it's hot. It'll be fine. Ooh. Oh my god, it's 9:40. Okay. The simmering food gif. Oh my goodness. I wish I could see these gifts. So at this, I need to make some fudgy brown M&M cookies, which I'm pretty excited about. I'm going to switch these. So those who didn't see are basically I chicken scratched my way through like a sauce recipe, seeing what was available online, added some of my own little tweaks and questions. You can see I have things like I circled milk and I was like question mark, and I like added things down here being like with fennel. So we've got the half and the half. We got the fennel ones that have been made. We've got non-fennel that have been baked. We're going to see what's best of best. And now we are making some fudgy cookies. So these fudgy cookies, again, here's your other for the type of thing. So remember the meatballs. Those who have come in late, I am doing Boyle's, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, food truck, meatball sandwiches. Those are going to be the fennel ones that have been pan fried. But I'm also a recipe for a cookbook pitch. Because it is a pitch, I can't talk too much about the fandoms that I'm going after, the specific pop culture references I'm going after. But the meatballs, it's something where someone can hold them. And now I am working on a cookie recipe that specifically has only brown M&Ms. This is a hard thing to see out of, but they're brown M&Ms. Farmhand Killer, thank you so much for the follow. I mean, I've got this whole bag of non-brown M&Ms that I'm going to have to destroy. But if you happen to know what thing brown M&Ms is referencing, let me know. And when I can talk about it. So this I have not done my mise en place. I did that for the meatballs. So mise en place is where you have all of your ingredients out before you even start, which is a very good thing to do, something that I'm pretty bad at when I'm a home cook. Did I lose audio again? Thanks, legal satire. Thanks for helping me destroy those M&Ms. Anyway, so now I'm going to grab that stuff out of my pantry, and I hope I have everything, because this was a recipe I kind of put together this evening. So we need 1 cup of chocolate chips. Let's see if I've got those going on in here. Butterscotch chips, a lot of white chips. Okay, so when you're like me and you do a lot of baking, every time you bake something new, you decide to buy another bag of chocolate chips with like 3 half-used things of chocolate chips. So we're going to get rid of some of those today. We need brown sugar, flour, cocoa powder. I'm going to grab those. Also, not like me, you go to Costco for your ingredients. Got a lot of brown sugar. I made a lot of gingerbread cookies and holiday season, and so I needed a lot of brown sugar. I'm going to clear some of the savory ingredients away here. Probably won't need the cutting. So let's just move that. Oh, this cutting so big I can just balance it over my sink. How nice is that? So these are out, right? Okay. I've got the oven still set at 3. I'm going to need that for the cookies. Let's clear away the cheese and parsley. I'm not making that kind of cookie. I don't know what kind of cookie. A salad cookie? It would not be good. Pizza cookie? Random game time, good. I'm glad that you can to my erratic chip usage. Okay, I'm gonna need some butter. Let's grab some unsalted. So as I was saying before, my lactate, I am lactose intolerant. When it comes to baking, like, I want to use the real thing. So I'm going to use butter. So what have we got here? We've got chocolate chips. We've got butter. We've got brown sugar. We're going to need some vanilla and these. Again, another Costco purchase. This thing's like $30 Costco. Worth it. I use it all up. Love me some. Got my flour, cocoa powder, salt, baking soda. Cool. I have vanilla listed on there twice. That's what happens when you work very quickly to put together a recipe. Cocoa powder. Where are you at? Got a little bit left of my Whole Foods cocoa powder, so I might Hershey's halfway through. We'll see. Should be good. Hi, King Russell the Great. I have some meatballs and some sauce simmer on the stove. Right, to make some fudgy brownie-style cookies that have brown M&Ms in them. It's really good. I mean, I'll put the other M&Ms too, but for the picture I'm taking and the rest I'm working on, I'm going to need just brown M&Ms. We need some salt and some baking soda, which I've got going on up here. So for baking, I usually use just like this good Morton salt, just easy to measure. When I'm cooking stuff and I want a lot of salt in it, I use the Diamond kosher salt. It's what the fancy people use, really cheap. And it tastes real good. So again, the meatballs, I'm just letting simmer. It says, like the recipes I saw that I'm bastardizing mentioned that you want to let it 2 hours. I don't think I'm going to be that patient, but we will cut open some meatballs maybe and see what they look like at that point. This was pure sauce. Just, have to keep tasting it, make sure it's fine for the sauce. You guys understand. I know you do. Okay, this one is a little bit different than a normal cookie recipe because it is supposed to be kind of a brownie cookie. You can smell those meatballs every time you lift the lid. They smell so good. But yeah, so this cookie recipe, you start off making the way that I normally make like a fudge brownie recipe. So you're actually going to be melting the chips and the butter together and essentially making a ganache with it that you're then putting into the rest of the ingredients. So it's making it really tasty. So this just says to do it in the microwave. So we're going to do that. We're going to do a cup of chocolate chips and a half in a microwave safe bowl. We should be fine to just do it in a normal size bowl then. So let's do that. So many random ingredients here. And yep, water is half cup, so that's nice and easy. If you want to get fancy with this, you can melt the chocolate on a double and then take that off of the heat and then mix the butter in. But all the recipes I'm basing this off online said to do it in the microwave. So give that a try. It's also a little bit easier. The Minecraft cookbook, a lot of the recipes I made in there, I tried to put the microwave version things instead of the stovetop or double boiler versions, just because I want to make it nice and easy for kids to do without a whole lot of adult supervision. And earlier with the oil splatter, stoves are tricky mistresses. You want to be good. Spilling chocolate everywhere. I don't care. I want all of them in this nice little container. So good news, we got rid of one bag, but did not fully get rid of 2 bags. Still have that left that will be going back in the pantry. So for these, just use like actual clothespins for them. It's a trick my mom taught me. It's really handy. And you don't have to buy like the fancy plastic bag chips or anything. You just buy of clothespins. So this we just do for like third time and then we'll stir it. You don't want to get the chocolate too hot or else it will, and it instead of staying liquid, it kind of turns into this weird, almost like a fudge mixture, but it gets like really brittle and it starts to taste really good. Oh, you back to help me with more M&Ms? Good. For your help. You're a champ. So not much happened this time. But we'll just do a quick little mix. Butter really soft. So we'll just start mixing up a little bit more. Make sure the heat is even. And then we'll stick it in for another 30 seconds. Place that there. So what exciting things do you guys all have in store for this evening or tomorrow, this upcoming weekend? Does anyone have any fun plans coming up? Oh yeah, now it's getting nice and melty. So at this point, even though as soon as I stir it, it doesn't all melted, it's becoming soft enough that I don't really want to microwave it again for fear of the chocolate burning. So I'm just going to keep stirring it until it's nice and melted. And then we're going to put it aside and let it kind of cool down a little bit while we mix the rest of the ingredients. And then we'll add this in near the end. So big question. Actually, I would be asking this. No spoilers. Free zone. Are any of you guys seeing Avengers this week? My friends and I, we all have tickets for Thursday evening. And I'm excited and scared. I know lots of people are probably going to die. It's going to be a bloodbath. And like, I guess just like the actors being like, yeah, we're done. But like, also it's got to be sad for the actors because they've like been working on the same project with the same over a decade. And the last film, your friend Lorraine worked carpet yesterday. Got to interview all the celebrities. I was up with her with like Captain America and Black Widow and Captain Marvel and all that, and so jealous. So jealous. Looked amazing. Okay, so this is getting pretty nice and soft and liquidy. I'm going to probably mix it a little bit more in a second. Just going to let it stay warm. It's actually kind of cool. It's not very warm. Delicious though. Chocolate and butter. Okay, let's get rid of some of these saucy guys. Move my trusty old KitchenAid mixer up here. And get some stuff in here. You can see that. What are we doing here? Okay, got the chocolate and the butter melted. They're off to the side. We got to whisk together the flour, the baking powder, and salt. So this do in a normal little bowl here. You want to mix them before you mix them in with everything else because you want to make sure that the salt and the baking soda are evenly in the flour. There are certain types of flours, like flours, pastry flours, that have some baking soda or baking powder in them. But it's nice to be able to control it. So that's why we're doing it this way. So we're going to do a cup and a half. Okay. I know people need to like sift the flour. It's this big production and it has to be nice and even. Fun thing about recipe testing for cookbooks is you know that most aren't going to do that, so I don't have to do it. I try to do things a little bit lazy, try to kind of break you a little bit, just so I know if it goes into a normal kitchen with someone who doesn't cook very often, that like they get what's going on. So I do a little bit of moving it around and sifting, but I don't make like a production of it. One day when I do like a fancy cookbook. But when you're doing Phantom inspired ones, I feel like the average person picking it up isn't a hardcore chef. It's someone who's like excited about that fandom and wants to cook something for its time. The Minecraft cookbook was great because it was for kids and families. So I knew that most recipes were just chance to cook. I remember the cookbooks that I used when I was a kid and I first learned how to cook. I went to a cooking class and I learned how to make and my poor parents, I made them tuna melts for dinner like every day for a really long time because I was so excited to learn how to make tuna melts. So I hope that the Minecrafters cookbook is like that for some kids. No tuna melt recipe. I should have that. Okay. We want half teaspoon salt, half teaspoon baking soda. That's easy enough. These measuring spoons are the best. They're magnetic. Dropped them on the ground. Oh. But yeah, highly recommend Amazon. Everything going okay? Oh. I just brought the Minecrafters cookbook. Are you seeing any chats just go through? Or is everyone lurking right now?
No, I'm talking.
I haven't seen anything since random game time.
No.
Let me read something. I promise I haven't been ignoring you guys. It's a different thing than my mainstream, so it's easy for me to do that part. But yeah, the Minecrafters cookbook. You can get it from Amazon. I think it's normally like $12. They have a Kindle version as well. It's lots of fun. I'm real proud of it. The chat is waiting for new messages. Okay, someone should do a test message so I can see if my chat is working. Maybe it's not working. Either way, if I'm not responding to, oh, look at that beautiful book. Okay, I saw that. So anyway, if you answered any of my questions before, I wasn't ignoring you. I promise. My chat thing just errored out. Okay, the baking powder, baking soda, baking soda. Baking powder, baking soda. Does that confuse anyone else? I should know more about it. And I remember looking it up before, but I don't remember the difference. It just bothers me. Okay. So I used my fancy mixer earlier for the meatballs using a fork. Just use that if you don't have a whisk around. Whoop. Okay. So the flour is good to go after that big production. And this is still a little lumpy, so I'm going to put this in for just like another 30 seconds. Maybe like 15. Okay. Now, what am I doing? Y'all, it is getting late. I am a sleepy pup. Okay, I'm beating eggs, brown sugar, and vanilla on high speed until light and fluffy. That's easy enough. 2 eggs. Got 1 egg here. Luckily, I have more here. All about that cage-free eggs. So, I'm going to throw 2 eggs in the KitchenAid mixer. My favorite appliance ever. Only because I make so many cupcakes and cookies. It is extremely helpful. And I'm having bad egg luck to their shell. Trying to get that. Oh my god! Did I do it? Almost. Done. Completed. Throw those babies in the compost. Okay, so we've got the eggies. We are now adding some brown sugar. 1 cup of brown sugar. You be dreaming. What is up with this? That's a lot of sugar. That's just as much sugar as, no, sugar than flour, but barely. So I'm kind of excited about this. Normally I do cookies that have white sugar. So brown sugar is that has had molasses added to it. It just makes it a little more... that's the wrong spot. This is what happens when you cook later. Sometimes you put your brown sugar in with your flour, and then you make a mess. But it's going to be delicious anyway. Who wants to know? Before defeat the eggs. I've done it. Defeated them. Ooh. Awesome. Just got word that my Dungeon Master has sent me a bunch of notes for my campaign tomorrow. My character has a lot of knowledge of the world that the other characters don't. And I don't personally have that, so he had to send it to me. So that's what that beep was. I just got from him. Very excited to look through that. Okay, so I have 2 things here. One for 2 teaspoons vanilla, one for 1 teaspoon. I think we're going to start with 1 teaspoon. Let's see how that goes. Use this half teaspoon guy. Vanilla thing. That is so true. It's not real. It's not a total mess. Fortunately, I'm the one that has to clean it up when it does become a mess. But maybe that's tomorrow morning Tara's problem. Okay, I'm going to start this and move away from it for a second because it might get loud. We're just in the sugar, vanilla, and eggs. So it's like all of the kind of wetter ingredients. And sugar. So when you're making cookies, cupcakes, things like that, once you get the flour, you don't want to mix a whole lot because that's going to make it really tough. So you'll see that you'll mix a lot of the other ingredients and then add the flour in near the end for like a quick mix. So that's essentially what we're doing. We're adding the eggs, brown sugar, vanilla, and then we're going to add in the chocolate. And then once those are all mixed, we'll add in the flour. And then from there, all of that is mixed. That's when you add in your solid ingredients. So if you're making chocolate chip cookies, that's when you add your chocolate chips. For us, that's when we're adding M&Ms. If you put in nuts in your cookies, that's when you'll add in your walnuts. Okay, so that's mixed. This is going to be really liquidy. This is going to be interesting. But I guess the chocolate recipes and brownie recipes I make are usually pretty liquidy. So it should all turn out fine. We'll see. So I haven't made this recipe before. I just kind of had an idea for it. I looked to see if other people had done something similar. I took some ideas and I crafted this recipe. I'm just putting stuff on top of the cutting board here. Oh, goodness. Okay. Now they're just chocolate and brown sugar and vanilla. If it didn't have the eggs in it, I would just go in there with a spoon. I get you guys a profile picture or something, but I love the idea of legal satire, just saying, you don't see my face? Am I a ghost? Okay, so we're letting that mix for a little bit, so now we're going to add in the flour. So one thing that's becoming pretty popular for a lot of cookies is to let them rest in the fridge for a while. I ain't got time for that today. Today we're just saying basic recipe itself works. In the future, make it a little bit better. I'll stick it in the fridge for a bit. I'm impatient. We started 2 hours late tonight. It's gonna be. I use my Keep Calm and Bake On spatula. It's my favorite spatula. I bought it for myself right before I made cupcakes for my friends Mike and Tifa's wedding. They, I don't know if it was one of their first dates, but they really love this like red velvet cheesecake from Cheesecake Factory. I thought that is like their cake to cut, but they wanted cupcakes for their wedding and they wanted a red velvet cheesecake. So I made that for them. And then I also, because they were having a drive, I still wanted them to have something fun for toasts. So I made them champagne cupcakes because when you put in, the alcohol is being cooked out. So it was safe for everyone to eat, but it still kind of gave that ring of like this little mini cupcake that you could toast with. Hold up and toast and then eat. Okay, so we now have this dough here. Add the M&Ms into it. So I don't have a lot of brown M's. I have a lot of normal ones. So I'm going to add normal M&Ms just so I can get a feel for if the recipe works. But I'm going to make a few cookies that are just the brown M&Ms, and those are the ones pictures of. So that's my plan here. See, I just move some of this out. I'll put the brown ones in that. How much that's like? Fifth of a cup. And then the normal M&Ms for the rest. Mixing that up all nice. I wanted to play around with maybe doing like a Nutella in the cookies as well. And then I realized, Tara, you're becoming mad with power. Gotta contain yourself a little bit here. Let's start with brownie fudge M&M cookies first, and if we must, we'll add in Nutella swirls in the future. So this is a pretty like sticky dough. Interesting to see. Tastes good. Definitely tastes like a brownie cookie. The weirdest kitchen sink setup I've ever had in my life. Okay, let's get some parchment paper on some baking sheets. Actually, yeah, let's pans here. Since I haven't fully washed this one since meatballs. That was a little too small, but you know what? We're gonna make it work. I'm gonna use my cookie scoop. Just this cute little guy. Perfect for these cookies. Actually, let's do the chocolate or the brown ones first. We want to make sure we get some good ones with those. So again, for those who are coming in a little bit late, what I'm doing right now is working on some recipes that will be part of a cookbook pitch I am doing. So I wrote the Minecrafters cookbook, and from that I was able to a wonderful agent, Maria Vicente, I think is how you pronounce her last name. And she is working with me on putting together some pitches for a few other, fandom-inspired cooks. We have a few different genres and themes going on. And working on right now. I can't talk too much about what the recipe is from because I don't want to give away the book before it is a thing. But I'm pretty excited about. I think it'll be really fun. Oh, it doesn't look like it has enough M&Ms in it. It only has like one M&M. Not even worth putting in. But the clue for this recipe is that it involves brown M&Ms. If you know what the reference to brown M&Ms are, you might know what type of cookbook it is. So we are cooking these for 9 to 12 minutes. So we're going to stick them in for 9 minutes. and see how that goes. 350, right? Yeah, 350. And while that batch is cooking, we'll get the rest of it. So you're done Harry Potter. When it ends, you have to go to bed. So which Harry Potter and or how many Harry Potters? Because you might be up for like 24 hours watching all of them. So I guess on the cookbook note, if you could have a cookbook based on fandom, what cookbook would you want to have? This could be a specific fandom like Harry Potter. It could be a genre like horror movies, or, you know, fantasy taverns. Well, let me know. Maybe it's something I can end up doing a pitch for. What is the Hostess meatballs? What are they made from? Hostess meatballs sound like it's like Hostess cakes, like Twinkies. And I don't want what a Twinkie meatball would be like. But these meatballs. So I am working on a meatball recipe for a cookbook pitch, but then I'm working on a meatball sandwich recipe for Geeky.com that is inspired by Charles Boyle from Brooklyn Nine-Nine and his food truck that he did in season 4, I think it was season 5, the last season. So if any of you are Brooklyn Nine-Nine fans, that's where that's from. Okay, let's see. We can stick these in and just remember that they need 2 more minutes than the obvious ones. And then when those come out, we'll put some more in and just try like a little bit of it. My meatballs should not live for years. Mike, tell me more about this friend system I sort of have. What would that entail? I know some folks in some high places. I can put in a word. Good. I'm glad I still have my breadcrumbs out from making meatballs. Don't think I need those anymore. I'm going to put a couple other ingredients on it. And that's how it died. Okay, flour goes back. Whoa. I'm just bonking everything. I never put cocoa powder in. Where was the cocoa powder supposed to go? Uh-oh. Huh. Well, I'm going to make a note that I did not add cocoa powder. See what happens. Might have to make another at some point with more cocoa powder. Yes, I'm a wino red wine. Yes, I am drinking some red wine. It's a Cabernet Sauvignon. We needed some of it for the sauce, so clearly I had to taste test it. Oh, if you think I'm going to stop at half of the meatballs, you're now at Mike 3. Mistaken. So now we'll take advantage of a little break in the cooking system to do some cleanup. By that I mean I'm going to stack a bunch of stuff together. Well, I guess I'll put some stuff actually in the dishwasher. Like a grown-up. The worst part of being a grown-up. Putting things in the dishwasher. So have any of you been cooking or baking anything tasty? That needs to be washed, so I will wait on that. Probably need these tongs. Read the hope has returned. Woo-hoo. How dare she? Oh, dude, I'm gonna eat some. You can't even tell you. Let's put this cocoa powder back. Sugar. Goodbye, cocoa powder. We never used you. I'm so sorry. This is being split streamed, so I'm using Restream, and it is actually streaming to Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube, presumably. At tzatziki, I'll be making tzatziki this weekend for Greek Easter, and I make a really good tzatziki recipe. It's a legal satires recipe. And chocolate. That's so sad. Narciss, I live being allergic to nuts and chocolate. But yes, I actually will be doing some sugar recipes pretty soon. My sister-in-law is getting married, so legal sister, and I am in charge of making some really sugar cookies and some cupcakes for the bridal shower. So in a couple weeks, I'll probably do a test of recipes because while my cooking skills are good, my decorating skills are still kind of beginner. So I'm going to have to play around with it. She has these specific cookies and wants these like the beautiful sugar cookies that are in the shapes of rings that have like glitter on them and are all like super well decorated. Like, so I'm going to do those. And then I got these really pretty cupcake liners that are invitations, which are, do we have, I guess this is her bridal shower invitation. But yeah, so I'm going to make like a sparkling rose cake using this sparkling rosé, which is delicious. If you're looking for one, it's a Chateau Saint Michel. It's only like $14 a bottle, so it's a really good price for a good sparkling wine for those of you who are of age to drink wine. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I have gone down before. I have had many OTPs in my day. If you want me to actually ship someone like with FedEx or US, no, can't help you there. But I know about shipping people. And then, yeah, satire I just mentioned, I did used to be in a web series. Some of you may have known it, called Job Hunters. That is available on YouTube. How are these guys doing? Sauce doing? That's the important question. Hot but delicious. I think I might need more seasoning though. It's very cheesy, which is good. I just want more like oomph. I think I want more red pepper. I want more garlic. Maybe we should just like throw some in. What do you guys think? What's in the pot? So the pot, actually, it's a little hot, heavy, but I'll do it real quick here. We've got meatballs and some homemade tomato sauce. It's been simmering for the last hot hour or so. And the meatballs, half of them were pan fried before they went in there. Let's see these guys. Okay, so this is after 9 minutes. What do you think? Should I go in for longer? They look good. They're supposed to sit for a while. I don't want to overcook them. Maybe this batch we'll keep out and we'll cook the other one a little bit longer. Just to see. Oh, those look good too though. Those ones need at least another 2 minutes. We'll check on those at that point. But at this point, they're just gonna sit. They're gonna cool for about 10 minutes, and they should harden up a little bit. I didn't burn myself. We're good. As soon as it started to feel a little warm, I brought it back. Oh, so you have so people to point out, your friend is shipping you with like a real life person. That's rough. That's like, I don't know if you watch Bob's Burgers, but Tina has her like nonfiction. That's what that makes me think of. That that's a whole nother level. Like, it's one thing to be like, God, you would be so good with Thor. Wouldn't I be so good with Thor? But being like, oh my God, like the street. No, that's weird. Tell your friend to stop. Garlic is God. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, we should add garlic. And yeah, we need to add garlic bread. So my thought is when we make the meatball switches about these French dip hoagies. If anyone has seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I specifically want to get a hoagie that wasn't cut yet because there's a whole scene where he's telling them how to make the perfect cut and nothing. So clearly, I need to be able to make that cut myself. But my thought is we could put some like butter and garlic on this and throw it in the oven for it to get a little bit toasty and essentially make it like a garlic bread before we put the meatball on it. So I'm in Washington. I'm in Seattle. So yeah, it's not 1:30, but it is 10:30 p.m. We have many times that these will legit be like midnight meatballs by the time they're done. And it was to start a lot earlier. We ran into a lot of technical difficulties. I was trying to use Streamlabs OBS, which I've used before totally fine, but I kept getting an error code. She's like, what do you want to know? Hey, I did not say that. I told you. Oh yeah, these ones are getting all puffed up. Nice. Except now I don't. Oh gosh. Balance is here for a second. I forgot to get my cooling plates out. Must today, you all. Anyway, tried to do Streamlabs OBS, try to make it look see. After about an hour and a half of fighting with errors, I'm just going to stream straight from, what is this called? Restream? So, yeah, it's actually perfect down here right now. It's not too rainy. Last couple days. Sorry, this will be loud for a second. Disaster zone everywhere. Anyway, it's been a little drizzly the last few days, but starting today and going on for the next week, I think like 60 to 65 and either cloudy or sunny, which is like beautiful weather for Seattle. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay, so these need a little bit longer to cool. I'm gonna turn off I guess I have more batter. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick bio break. Turn this on mute. I will be back in just a second. I see you. Sneaking all the M&Ms. On my 3, tell your friend you're a single Pringle. That is, I love it. Yeah, so if you like this person, just know, as long as they seem like a good person, it's going to respect you, treat you well, make you laugh. That's literally the most important thing. Well, I mean, you know, being able is probably the most important thing, but making you laugh is really. He's my brother's best friend. Ooh, I feel like every single romantic comedy starts with that. It's all about going after your brother's best friend. So here's how these cookies end up looking. They look little mini brownies in cookie form. So we're just going to put them onto a cooling rack for a little bit. I mean, clearly we're going to have to try like one because is better. No cookie tastes better than when it is fresh. Well, like 3 minutes in the oven. You back for more M&Ms? If you're stealing a cookie, please don't take a brown one. I need those for the photos. Whoa! Whoa! Danger. Okay. There's extreme legal satire. You could be a coward, not even show your face. Let's see. About ready to move on to what's the final recipe for the night. Not counting the actual subs, because we're still waiting on the meatballs. They've been simmering for an hour, and they've also already been pre-cooked for the most part, so they're probably good at some point soon. Oh, they look so good. But first, let's try this cookie. Oh, it's still so warm. It's falling apart in my hands. I mean, it's a little warm and soggy, which is delightful right now, but I don't know how it's going to be when it's just fully cold. I was kind of hoping they'd end up being a little thicker. They seem to kind of thin down a little bit, but they're really tasty. Alice Fisher 4322, thank you so much for the follow. Tara, how's the cookie? Narcissist, it's not worth it for an EpiPen. I'll make you a good sugar cookie instead. Next time. But it's pretty good. I could have stopped after one bite, but I'm still eating it. Legal, what do you think? Is it a good cookie? Is it a good bake? Wait, Outmate, your girlfriend is shipping you with your ex? She wants you to be with your ex? I have a lot of questions about that. So yeah, they're cool. The cookies are looking like here. Ooh, a carrot cake with real cream cheese icing. I haven't made that before. But I should. Although I feel like I'd probably do like a carrot cake cupcake or like a carrot cake cake pop. I know that like the cream cheese frosting is a really integral part to a carrot cake. So having, I guess not cake pop, but what is it? It looks like the old like push-up pop. It's like a parfait in it. Okay. Meatballs are done. Cookies are done. We have leftover cookie dough, but I'm just going to call it there. I'm going to leave it here. There's a lot going on. So I do have a recipe I have to make. Kind of excited. It should be pretty easy. It's going to involve the blender, so it'll be a little bit loud. And it is a strawberry daiquiri. This one, I'll show you the recipe real quick. So this one has already been pre-written as it would be for my cookbook pitch. So the theme. So I'll just cover up. So but this is the recipe. Ooh. Yeah, peep to a point out. I think it's a good thing. If you're only 12, you got time. Also, dating at 12 is very different than dating at 18 or dating as you're older. I was just thinking about this the other day that like when I was 12, I remember telling my parents like, so asked me out, and they're like, okay, cool. Where are you gonna go? Like, where are you gonna go out on your date? And I'm like, no. Going out means we hold hands in between classes. Like, going somewhere. And then as you get older, you find out, oh no, you actually go, and it's almost like a mini interview. You're going to like dinner and you're getting to know them and stuff. So you've got time. Enjoy it. What kind of savory dish? A pork chop with mashed potatoes. I mean, I'm making meatballs right now. Other dishes I've done a lot of mac and cheeses. I've done some. I have a really good savory cupcake recipe on Geeky Hostess.com. That is meatloaf, and then with mashed potatoes as the frosting, and then you put like a cherry top to look like the cherry on a cupcake. I've also done one with like mac and cheese and a biscuit, which is pretty good but kind of dry. Oh yeah, people point out if he's 13, almost 14, 12 to 14 is like a big difference in age. I'd say skip this one out. I mean, it all varies. I know, sometimes some people are faster than others at that age, but you do you. Whatever makes you feel comfortable and good, do it. Okay. It's time to make a strawberry daiquiri. So we need frozen strawberries, rum. So people to point out, this is not a recipe for you. I'm sorry. But for those who are 21 older, got this. Although people to point out, you can make it without the rum. Frozen strawberries, lime juice, simple syrup. It's one of my favorite things to do at that age was to go to Lawn, which is a Mexican restaurant near where I grew up, and get their virgin daiquiris and like chips and beans and rice. And it was so much fun. Why do you have to wait until you're 16? I'd say so. It's stupid. Look up Will Smith's song, Parents Just Don't Understand. It was back when Will Smith was young. It's great. You will enjoy it. Call my ex and declare me as her. Oh my God. Okay, out my 3. Not seen Scott Pilgrim. You've got to watch Scott Pilgrim. That's essentially what's happening right now. Wait, so your sister can have 15, but you have to wait till you're 16? That's a Taming of the Shrew situation right there. That's a 10 things I hate about you situation. Watch. I am so old. I used to work at Blockbuster when Blockbuster was a thing. If any of you have seen Captain, you'll know what Blockbuster is, because that was a thing that she ran into in the 90s. And my favorite thing to do was recommending movies for people. So I could do this all day long. What am I going to use with the booze? I'm going to use rum, frozen strawberries, lime, and simple syrup. Actually, I feel like I don't need the full. I'm actually going to use a mini guy. So I have the Ninja blender. Really neat. It comes with these containers. So it has essentially a mini blender and a cup. So you put everything in the cup, stick it in, stick this right on the blender, then you take it out and you replace this with a lid. And voila, this is how I make smoothies in the morning. But we're going to use it for the daiquiri. So let's rinse this out to the best of our ability. Just add a little bit of milk, be fine. Okay. Give me the alcohol. Sorry, cannot do that. These strawberries are a little old. We'll slurp. It's actually legal satire. Should I be making a version of this? Do you need to try a strawberry daiquiri? Nice 10:35 p.m. strawberry daiquiri on a weeknight. Well, yeah, peep to point. Oh, yeah, you said you're homeschooled, so you don't start till. You would try a small amount. Okay. Well, I'll make a double recipe. Yeah, it's late for you. I should add A to my stream? What does that mean? Does A mean alcohol? Okay, so we're going to do 4 ounces of light rum because I'm making a double batch here. Go, go, go. Peep to point out, I think you're fine. Not knowing what it's like in a real school. Especially age of 12. Junior high, middle, that whole time period is rough. Oh, a song request. Yeah, I'm new, so I don't know how to do that, but that's definitely something I'll look into. And it's fresh squeezed lime juice. I'm gonna need some of this lime for decoration. Let's cut this baby in half. Okay, so this is cool. So it's a glow forge, which is like the thing that cuts into wood. So he made me, and it has all these different like measurements and things on it with his glow forge. Can help and do that for you. Oh, awesome. Well, I will definitely look into that. So I got my handy here. So we need 1 ounce, 2 ounces. Okay. So perhaps you point out you're not that different for being homeschooled. A lot of people are homeschooled. And I think you end up deciding you want to go to college, you're going to meet a lot of people who are homeschooled, and it's not going to feel that different. You'll find out that you are in good company. Also, sometimes it's nice to be different. So I'm just trying to get 2 ounces of juice out of this lime here. Almost at. Keeping 1 slice aside to garnish the glass. Yeah, 2 ounces lime juice. 2 tablespoons of simple syrup. So simple syrup is literally just sugar water. You can take sugar and boil it, and it will end up 2 tablespoons turning into simple syrup. That's just going to add some sweetness. Cut that lime juice. Oh, Tony, I do have an apron right here. I could put it on if it will make you feel better. At this point, I'm just mixing stuff together. I didn't think oil spots. I actually lucked out. I didn't. I stayed pretty far away. I think the only one hit my arm. Okay, so this is supposed to be a frozen drink. I'm just hoping the frozen strawberries will be enough to keep it frozen, but if not, then we will add some ice to it. Loud for a second here. Oh, thanks so much for the raid. Timing, I'm like blending something. So writing a bunch of stuff. I'm prepping some recipes for a cookbook pitch I'm working on. So excited to have you all here. Thank you so much, TG Raid. Yeah, so I'm making a lot of things. I have like meatballs going. I just made a strawberry daiquiri. We just made some brownie fudge cookies. But this specific strawberry daiquiri recipe that I'm working on needs to be flamboyant. Like it is going to look ridiculously fun. If you've seen some of those like crazy milk recipes, we're essentially doing that but with a strawberry daiquiri. So I have this glass that we're going to decorate with a bunch of candies and other fun things. So first thing, I think I wanted to get pixie sticks for it, but I didn't. But I do have Pop Rocks. So we're going to rim the glass with Pop Rocks. Because I'm a crazy person. So, fun tip, if you want to get a lot of Pop Rocks, you can get them from Amazon. This is just like an entire thing full. So we're going to use some strawberry Pop Rock, strawberry daiquiri. Oh my God, mistakes are being made. This is going to be a disaster. I also want to use a candy necklace around the base. Yeah, so Pop Rock. So RG Bell, have you not married pizza slices? It's going to be like that, but with candy. So I'm just going to wrap this candy necklace around the base. Oh my gosh, it smells really good. It's like a really fruity one. So we've got a nice candy necklace base going on there. Then we're going to, anytime you want to rim something, a cocktail, anytime you want to rim a cocktail, you just put it on a plate here. And then you're going to want to use, I usually use like a little bit of lime juice or lemon juice around the edge. Just want them on the edge there. And then you just stick it in the sugar. Oh my gosh, this is so dangerous. Can you guys hear that cracking? Doesn't that sound amazing? So then it makes this beautiful rim. And then let's pour this. So game, are you also a drink streamer? Oh my God, look at that. It's beautiful. Okay, so we got the Pop Rocks, got the candy necklace, strawberry daiquiri. Let's get a little more crazy, shall we? I have a bunch of gummies, gummy bears. Do a skewer of those inside of it. In the package. There we go. So this was actually a bag that was handed at Emerald City Comic Con. Is that what? They were just like handing out free things of gummies, which is really handy because I knew I was a recipe. Let's see here. Got probably want a long skewer because it's pretty big. So I'll cut that off about there. Maybe. Perfect. Find some good gummies with gummy bears. those on. Are you guys fighting over who gets his drink? Because you're all losing. I am having this drink. Legal satire can have a sip. Okay. Making this beautiful gummy bear skin. And then we're also going to garnish it with some fruit. So I have a lime slice that I saved, and then we got some strawberry. We'll cut a slice of a strawberry as well. You had a mini food streamer meetup today with some special guests from Cali. That's awesome. Where was the food streamer meetup? I am new to this and wanting to do more of it. And as you can, playing around with both Mixer, Twitch, and YouTube. I'm using Restream today. I normally have it through Streamlabs. There were some issues with that today. So definitely come back and check out like the top-down camera and this camera and everything. It's going to be great. Oh yeah, strawberry. Let's get a beautiful strawberry here. It's a good looking one. So you just want to cut a slice down the strawberry. Stick that. Where should we put the strawberry? Here. A little heart there. Let's get the lime going. Oh, awesome. 4 gummy bears. We got 5 gummy bears on that baby. Okay, so this be, where's the best spot for the lime here? So because this drink is not going to stay this way forever, I'm going to take some pictures of it right now. So I'll set it up right here, actually. And you all can see me take some pictures. Again, for those who are just joining, I'm doing some recipes for a cookbook pitch that I'm doing. I wrote the Minecrafters cookbook, and I'm currently working on a few geeky or fandom specific cookbook pitches. I have one that the contract is being written right now that I'm really excited to get started on. Unfortunately, I can't talk about any of them yet because none of them are official yet. So you will find out soon enough what the strawberry daiquiri, candy coated strawberry daiquiri before. But in the meantime, you just get to see this lovely strawberry daiquiri. So I really like using just this really basic like white poster board. Great for situations like this where I just want to get like a clean shot of the drink. Sometimes, should I make able to do it this time? No, it's a little too tall. Sometimes I can use it for both ways there. And then I've got a Canon here, Canon Rebel T3i. I'm going to try the 50 millimeter, excuse me. Too much cookie, the milliliter. Just slam. I will after I take some pictures. I mean, I'm not going to slam it, but you know. You know. So let's play around a little bit with that. Okay, so just first picture right here I can show you. Hopefully you can see that. So we just got the nice clean, just by doing a little like white foam core board. Probably still lighten that up a little bit in post. I know there's a lot more I can do here, and I'm sure Legal's sitting there biting his tongue on how I can make a better shot. But for the initial pitch, I really just need to build what the idea looks like. They'll end up bringing on an actual photographer who knows what they're doing for the final product. But I'll take a few just in case one doesn't work out for some reason. That looks like it might open a bit more to the light. I'm awful. I use my auto settings just because I'm impatient and bad at this stuff. I write the recipes. I'll let other people make the photos look pretty. Another close-up or two. Then we're going to try this sucker. And then it might be time to dig into those meatballs. See where the candy necklace is the focus. Let's do a close-up. And this has been Watch a Person Take Bad Photos, the stream. Hope you've all enjoyed your time. So those who have just joined, who are also food and game streamers, what have you been cooking lately? What was the last thing you streamed? Have you drank it already? Okay, should I try it? Turn off the camera. Close it for the moment. Oh, y'all, I'm so excited. Cheers. Actually, I'm going to put a straw on this because it's too beautiful to just... Well, but I don't want the Pop Rocks. So many things. Too many things. Can you guys hear the Pop Rocks going? This is so sugary. For those of you who are age and or a little past it like me, you probably will understand that this is literally just a hangover in a glass. There's so much sugar. Meatloaf with baked potatoes and cornbread. Nice. Similar to what's going on. Lord of the Ring cookbook would be amazing. Spill tarts, Frodo dough. The less crispy sounds. It's pretty good. Diabetes into cryobetes. Yeah, this is really tasty. I can definitely eat any of those like outrageous out there restaurants making something like this. Like the drink itself is pretty tart because it's strawberries, rum, lime juice, freshly squeezed lime juice, and then a little bit of simple syrup. Pound it. I'm not going to pound it. I'm sorry. But legal satire, if you want to steal a sip, you're welcome to. I'm taking it right now. I'm taking this candy necklace. It's been too long without a candy necklace. And this one smells really fruity and really good. So this has 4 ounces of rum in it because I made double of the cocktail. But it ended up being like the right size for the glass I was using. So. But yeah, it's essentially like a drink you get in a bar. Oh! How is it? Oh my gosh. No. I can't. Put it back around the drink. For the next EDM rave, I'll eat it before then. Peep 2.0, remember, you cut out the rum and it'll still taste delicious. Just frozen strawberries, lime juice, simple syrup. Let's see how these guys are doing. Should we take out some of the meatballs, cut into them? See if they're safe to eat. I think I just broke one. I don't know what kind that is though. Okay, that's definitely a baked one. And that is a crispy one. So here's some of the meatballs here. I love seeing random hands appear. I'm glad someone does. So I'm going to push, you can see a little bit of how the meatballs look at the end. For those who just joined, I am 2 different meatball recipes. So You can see one right here is a little bit crispier looking, a little bit more brown. So we pan fried those ones and then put them in the sauce. And then this one is a little bit lighter because we baked it and then put it in the sauce. Pan fried ones all fennel in them. That one looks pretty good. Yeah, so that's the inside of them. It's going to turn out pretty good. This is after what, an hour and a half? 11. Yeah, an hour and a half. Shall we try them? That is really tasty. So that was a baked one. The fried one with the fennel. Can definitely taste the fennel. It just makes it tastier. It's more garlic. I knew from the beginning they need more garlic. Only one. Not enough for the like bajillion meatball I made. Not enough. Other folks who've joined me, all you food and game streamers on Twitch, what are your thoughts on garlic? Are you like me, put in like 5 times whatever the recipe calls for? Or do you stick to the recipe? Let me tell you something. Strawberry daiquiri, not if you're eating meatballs. I don't know. Those baked meatballs are pretty good. Oh, legal satire is coming down. Okay. Just showing off. What do you think? What do you like?
They taste very similar.
Wait, they're the same except it's fennel.
I think I like the one with fennel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fennel
soft,
one.
They're moist.
The fennel one was the second try.
Super moist. They really like fall apart in your mouth.
Pretty good. Yeah?
Yeah. Those are super good.
Yeah? But how do you think they need more garlic? Do they need more garlic?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, good.
More garlic.
Because that was, and we might have to divorce if you said otherwise. Okay. What am I even doing with my life, guys? It's time to turn those meatballs to some meatball subs. I know I said before that we should turn these into like fancy. Actually, how hot is the oven still? Back on. That I want to turn these into like a garlic base. I'm tired, man. I think it's just gonna be Boyle's recipe. It's pretty basic. So I'm making the meatball subs based off of Charles Boyle, the character from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, his food truck venture. He decided to make the perfect meatball sub. And he's normally pretty fancy with his stuff, but his meatball sub recipe was pretty sick because it was based off of his grandma's. It was Nana Boyle. But Boyle, I know he prefers stuff a little bit nicer, which is why I added the fennel. It's also why I like some fresh mozzarella on the top. And I got like a nice French hoagie. So I'll probably put this in the oven for a tiny bit. Let's first slice it. Let's see, I'm going to restart the chat here. 1 second. No one's saying good. I can't see it. There we go. Oh, bye, Jenny. Okay. Anyway, if anyone had seen that episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you know he is a stickler for how he slices the bread. So I'm going to mess this up, but let's give it a try here. I want it to be nice still. Don't think you want it to be fully cut. Do this with a couple. And actually, for the photo for this, all these all over because I want it to look like someone has gone through all of the bread to try to make the perfect one. People go to bed when Peep's dad is done with Harry Potter. The rules have been established. We all know them. Minor illusion. Slap yourself in the face until you fall. That seems productive. I feel like that would keep you awake. So I am going to throw a little bit of butter on those breads. The breads. Just put in the oven because I want that nice, like crisp, buttery inside. So let's do that. Let's give that a try. And let that just melt in the oven while the outside gets a little bit crisp. Sounds delightful. Also, thank you all for hanging out with me tonight. It's getting pretty late. I'm sure it's even later if you are. In fact, you're choosing to spend your time with me. It's honestly very flattering. So while that's there, let's slice up some fresh mozzarella. When do people go to sleep? Never. Didn't you say that you go to sleep once your dad's done watching Harry Potter? Saying? So because these end up being melty on the bread, I'm just cutting like really thin slices of fresh mozzarella. When I make stuff like meatball subs, I just grab that thing of like shredded mozzarella from the store. I'm not fancy. Boyle, fancy boy. He's gonna want nice thin slices of fresh mozzarella. You know what? He probably also wants basil on his. That sounds good. Shake up some basil. A little basil. Maybe just a nice whistle. Near Bainbridge. Oh my gosh, you guys. Bainbridge has so many amazing restaurants. I've only been like, but it's been really nice. So when you want to cut those nice like strings of basil, you just pull it up. I'm doing it now, and then you're going to cut just down the line with these nice little ribbons. Because I don't think we need full basil leaves on these. Just want some ribbons. Ooh, that smells good. Okay, candy necklace break. Candy necklace all over me. Bread is a substance. What do you call units of bread? Breads. I've got 2 breads of bread. You know. Oh yeah, these are getting good. Nice and toast. I am running out of space. I'm making such a mess. Again, this is future terrorist problem. Because even though I know it's like clean the kitchen and everything, I might just do a cleanup and then go to sleep tonight and then deal with it tomorrow. So the outside's starting to get a little crispy. The bread actually did not fully melt yet. I'm just more. Let that get melty. This bread is seriously pro. Crispy, soft. Harry Potter's almost over. R.I.P. So yeah, Harry Potter is you watching? Past Tara does have a habit of sabotaging future Tara. Every once in a while, we're on the same page. Team up. Not always. Not always. What's this sauce doing? Y'all, I'm gonna have spaghetti meatballs like a queen tomorrow with the sauce and these meatballs. It'll be so good. Chamber of Secrets. Okay, so he's near the beginning. Is he watching through all of them, or does this one be on? Mine are always coming in with those spoils. They're brothers, and like the you and I are sisters, Pete. They both identify as men. Oh, they're brothers and father and son now. Good, good. There's like some Back to the Future style time travel here. I like it. Don't listen to him. Oh yeah, the bread. Let's pull this bread on out. Woo! Hot little bread, baby. Ooh. Woo. Okay. Oven is off for the night. Oh yeah. Got a little bit of butter going on in there. Nice and soft on the outside. Oh, now I have balls. It's going to be a mess. Let's do this way. So, I know I asked it a couple times. I think stream stopped the couple times I did ask. Have any of you seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine, this episode that I'm referencing here? Actually, those aren't the ones I want. I want the other ones. Whoop. He specifically says you have to the bread and deliver it within 70 seconds or the bread will get too soggy. And I'm already starting to see that. Already makes sense here. So we got one sauce there. Henry and Voldemort makes me think of like Paul Blart Mall Cop. It's like, I like it. Voldemort. This is not for you. I have to take a piss. Not for you. Nope. You have to help me model the meatball recipe first. And then you get one. Oh, look at this. Nope. I've got to mess up a bunch of slices of bread so I can take a good picture. Nice Brooklyn style picture. Just kind of get that one squished a little bit. Gina ends up squishing a piece of bread. People to point out, I liked your joke. Because Voldemort's bald. Now we have to make this look artistic so we can take some pictures of it. And I have a very weird mixture of ingredients going on here that I do not want in the picture. Including this daiquiri, this delicious strawberry daiquiri. So stick this here. Stick this on other pieces of bread. Or is that asking for too much? So now I'm just creating a little masterpiece like this. So I can take a couple more quick photos. Get some more sauce going on. This is a fun thing with food photography is nowadays everyone's all about that mess. They want everything to look messy. Make it look like you were just cooking in the kitchen because you were. Everyone's favorite doing the dishes. You are welcome to come over and do the dishes for me. Because I'm guessing Ira's not going to do it. This here. Ooh, okay. Still on the 50 millimeter here, so it's nice and tight. Looks a little bit like this meatball sub has just barfed. Let's try some stuff here. What do you guys think of these? That one's blurry. What do we think is that conveying sloppy meatball sub by bread? Oh, I haven't heard The Dangerous Kitchen by Frank Zappa. I'm gonna have to try that. Check it out. Oh my gosh, I just want to take a bite of it. I just want to bite it so bad. What's for a fourth meal? This is my fourth meal. Taco Bell doesn't have a claim of the fourth meal anymore. Midnight meatballs. A nice little overhead shot. So you can get here. Still waiting on the meatball. Did I get something? Don't go too far.
Go a little wider.
So put on different ones?
Or just back up a little more. Try to get the edges of the thing. You can always crop in.
I guess I could use the actual viewfinder at this point. No, just for show. Okay, so those you might end up seeing on Geeky Hostess at some point soon. See if we can play around with this a little bit more as well. Let's get one just like fully dot while holding it. Holding this beauty. Did I just turn off the camera? No, it's falling in my hands. It's too late. I must eat it. I must try it. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Excuse me while I hinge my jaw like a snake to devour it. I've been waiting since like 6 o'clock yesterday. Legal satire, just in case you make your way down here again. I'm cutting out this off for you. Oh my gosh. Don't hurt yourself. I hope you all could hear the loud thunder I heard him like running down the stairs. Yes, Uncle Steve, get that stand mixer. If you're a really simple bread recipe, the Mind Captures Cookbook, now my hands are all gross, has a really good one. I think it's called the bread. It's one that it takes like 12 hours to rise, but it doesn't involve a lot of kneading or anything crazy. And then you just stick it in the oven for like 40-minute Dutch oven, and it's amazing. But you make homemade pizza? I haven't done that before. Heap 2.0. If I didn't miss saying goodbye to you. Good night. So pro tip, meatball subs are delicious. Strawberry daiquiris are delicious. Cookies are delicious. Don't make them all back to back at 11 o'clock at night. I'm a monster. A monster. I have like sauce all over my shin. Okay. Well, my kitchen. It's a disaster. I'm done cooking for them. Hair can come down. Thank you all for going on this beautiful journey. I think I'm going to call it for the night. Going to take a dose. Going to enjoy a little bit more of that strawberry daiquiri. Get ready for work tomorrow morning. And a very important D&D campaign after work. But yeah, continue to check me out. I'll probably continue to stream on all the different channels like I did today through Restream. As of right now, I'm thinking it'll either be Mondays or Tuesdays in the evening. The streaming, ideally, probably around like 7 to 10. We'll see. So keep an eye out for that. You can follow me at Geeky Terra, which is my personal handles on everything. Geeky Hostess, which is my blog. So if you want to be updated on like the new posts, so when the meatball sub post goes live, follow me there. And yeah, that's all I wrote. I would love to get in the habit of starting to do the oh my gosh, I just played a lot. It's late. But leading you to someone else following whatever. Yes, please, Uncle Stinky, spread my stream around. But yeah, because it's kind of bare bones today, right through a restream, I'm not sure how I can easily start hosting someone else. So I probably tonight, but I will in the future. But thank you all for keeping me company, and I had a blast. You did as well, and yeah, I hope to see you all soon. Sweet dreams. Have a lovely night. Hope all of this deliciousness is in your future. Hey.